All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to La Coalición. I'm Dianna. I'm usually behind the camera, but this is my first episode on our podcast, and we're excited. We're going to have all of our staff on the podcast before the end of the year. So hopefully, by the time this episode comes out, y'all will have seen everybody on our team. So I'm Dianna. I'm one of the digital organizers here at ICIJ, and I'm here with Javier, our executive director. I'm sure everybody knows who he is already. But I'm also here with Miriam. Do you want to introduce yourself, Miriam?
Oh yeah, my name is Miriam Sheets, and I'm Resilient Voices organizer for. I'm with ICIJ, and well, I do a lot of things right here, and I love it. But I think it. Who's next? Javier.
Yeah, me. I can introduce myself really quick. Yeah, so Javier with ICAJ. I'm really excited to be taking part in my second Coalición podcast recording. I do want to say it's important to acknowledge the folks that are behind the camera. You'll all get to meet Dianna. This is your first time, Dianna? Yeah. So you'll get to meet Dianna. And then I think in another episode, you'll get to meet Daniel, who's right now behind the cameras. But I think most importantly is this work doesn't get done, without you all. So just thank you all for all your work, Miriam and Daniel, Tamara, and also Dianna, who, are basically make sure that everything is up and running. So thank you all. I'm just a guest here today, supporting the work that y'all are doing.
Thank you guys for being here and for always being down to be in front of the camera. I know we're always asking everybody. We're always like, all right, who wants to record a video? Who wants to do everything? So yeah, it's good that we have a team who's always available and willing to be, putting all of our work out there online. So yeah, this is our last episode of the year. So by the time this one's out, the first episode of our end of the year recap is going to be out, just saying all the highlights, all the wins. We have had such a busy year here at ICIJ. We were just talking about how it's even hard to remember everything that happened in January. It feels forever ago, but we're going to go ahead and go into the second part today.
So so Daniel is actually going to be in the first one, right? So you would have already known Daniel. Yeah, so let me just fix that. But yeah, you'll already know Daniel. So shout out to Daniel, who's behind the camera today.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, go watch it. That's going to have a lot more of our wins and everything and more of our team who maybe you haven't met on the podcast yet. So for today, like I said, last episode of the year, we finally made it to the end of the year. I have a question to get us started. Since we're wrapping up the year, what's one word to describe the year, or what's one of your favorite memories from this year?
Well, let me answer that. One word is hard because I had too many words to say, but I can say satisfactory. Satisfactory.
I think for me, one of the favorite memories, there's so many, from every year. We did just come back from a 1 week vacation. So Diana and I were just thinking through all the amazing things that we've done this year. But one thing that comes to mind, and it just happened a few weeks ago, was when we got together for October 31st for Halloween, I think it was. I don't know when it was, but it was one of our latest meetings that we had for the staff. And most of us were here with the exception of Lisbeth, who... shout out to Lisbeth, who also just, is out right now because she had a baby. But it was also just really nice to be around with all of our team and spending time together and having a great time. I think, it's always good to have a good time with the team, and really excited to always be able to spend time with you all. So that was one of my favorite memories so far for this year. And looking forward to, making more memories, in the last few weeks that we have left.
Yeah. Yeah, I always think it's so fun whenever all the staff is here and the office is all busy with everybody.
Yeah, especially I miss a lot Lisbeth because, besides she's my boss, she's an excellent person. Always she had a magic word to help in everything. Always she say, "Oh, Miriam, just do like that. Just do like that." She's I like it. I love her.
Yeah. I know Elizabeth actually wasn't able to be on the podcast. She was going to be on the end of the year episode 1, and then literally the day of, she was like, I'm about to pop. She was like, I can't sit through a podcast. So yeah, we'll have her on first thing next.
Wow.
As soon as she's back, actually. But yeah, she's obviously a big part of our team, so I'm sure everybody has seen her too, but we'll have her on. For me, I was thinking about this question earlier this morning. I feel like the only way I can sum up the year is kind of a big step forward. I think there was obviously chaos going on the whole year, but I think there was a lot of good wins for the undocumented community. And one of my favorite wins was actually that the Pulitzer Prize is receiving, oh my gosh, you distracted me. The Pulitzer Prize now is accepting contributions from undocumented people, which is so exciting. I've always loved writing. It's such a big passion of mine. And to know that everybody is being included now, it just makes me so happy. So yeah, I think there's been a lot of good news for the undocumented community. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling. We already introduced ourselves, so let's just get into it. Some of our wins this year. This year, we celebrated our 15-year anniversary the whole year. It was so fun, just coming up with content on our end for the anniversary. But we had our gala. We had just so many different celebrations all throughout the year. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Javier. Yeah, how do you feel celebrating 15 years?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, a big year for ICIJ. I have been here for, I believe, 8 years, going into 9 years now. So, I've been here quite a little bit of time. So I just, I think it's exciting that we are 15 years old. I'm really excited to see where we go next. I do, as a nonprofit and the work that we do, one thing that's important for us to realize is that we want to make sure that we don't exist later, not because we're not doing good work, but because we achieved our mission, right? Our mission at ICIJ is to make sure that immigrants in the Inland Empire have, their rights are respected, that we, one day ensuring that folks have immigration status, that the Adelanto Detention Center is shut down, that folks have economic opportunities here in the region. And so our goal is we have to fight for that goal, and we have to get to that goal. And I want to make sure that that's what we continue to push for. But it is exciting that we are here for 15 years in a region that, that has not been the friendliest to immigrants, as the rest of California has. In our humble beginnings as a very small grassroots organization, coalition, I would say, that came together because ICE and Border Patrol were basically terrorizing our communities, more specifically day laborers, right? So just making sure that we always remember those roots, that we started as a small group, but a powerful group that had a vision that one day we would be where we are now with, 16 staff, with, organization members throughout the Inland Empire. We have staff throughout the Inland Empire as well. And just remembering that our goal has and will continue to be ensuring that immigrants can call the Inland Empire their home, and that they can feel welcomed and that their rights are respected. And I think just a big shout out to all of those that came before us, that laid that foundation that we're building on. And even for us, we're building up on a foundation that we know someday someone else was going to build upon. So just keeping that in mind, I think is important. But really, really excited for 15 years. I hope we can celebrate 15 more, but that we're also achieving some of our goals as we move forward, because this is the goal of ICIJ, is to make sure that immigrants are respected, immigrant rights are respected, and that people can thrive in this community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. We also celebrated our quinceañera this year. How was it for you celebrating at our gala?
Oh, the gala was amazing. It's always, it's always a big party. I think since we started having these events in 2016, I believe it was our first gala. We always wanted to make sure that it was a celebration more than anything. And that's what we did. We threw ourselves a big party, I would say. And we were celebrating all of our wins over the last 15 years, celebrating each other, and also just honoring and remembering those that we have lost throughout this fight. But it was amazing. To me, it was an awesome time, just spending time with friends, with colleagues, with folks that had been in the fight for many years, folks that we have learned from. And I'm looking forward to our Sweet 16 this coming year. So the party's not over. The party's not over. We're gonna have another big party for our 16-year anniversary. So really excited for that as well.
Yeah, me too. Shout out to Araceli. She does such an amazing job helping put the gala together every year. So yeah, I'm excited for next year. I think the gala is such a good breather towards the end of the year, kind of winding down a little bit and seeing everybody that we usually work with, in a different setting. Usually it's always work, and it's intense work a lot of the times. But the gala just, lets us have fun and calm down a little bit. Our work though is obviously our passion. I mean, there's so much work that we're doing all throughout the year. One of our biggest campaigns this year was our Freedom Campaign. So we launched a Freedom Campaign about a year ago to help liberate the last two women in the Adelanto ICE Processing Center. So Jackie and Ligay were the last two women in there. We were working with them for the past year or so. And so we were, throwing events, rallies. We were going up to visit Ligaya, calling them every week, making sure we were in communication with them. We launched a commissary campaign to help them get money inside to buy basic needs inside the detention center. We, contacted Senator Padilla's office, their ICE deportation offices, advocating for their release. Literally every week, that is what we were working on. And in August, Jackie was actually released. So it was such an exciting win. Like, I remember crying. Like, I got a call from Ligaya. I actually found out from Ligaya. And it was such a, surreal feeling knowing that we've been working on this and it actually happened. It was so amazing. She is reunited with her family now. And it was, one of the best feelings knowing that she is out and, knowing that we accomplished our goal. And with that energy, we continue to push for Ligaya's release. We continue to advocate for her. She is the only woman. There's only 7 people in the Adelanto ICE Processing Center. So even though it's a big win and we're celebrating it, there's still more work to do. So that's kind of where we're at with the Freedom Campaign. Miriam is the one that works more closely with everyone in the Adelanto ICE Processing Center. So she works with getting people out and all of that. But I'm going to pass it to you, Miriam, and you can tell us a little bit about your work this year.
Yeah. What I do, well, I'm so happy because I know I do a lot of things. I try to make my best because there is a lot of people in Desert View. There's a lot of men. And I've been helping people to get released. Thanks to God, I found a good lawyers that can give me their service for pro bono, free for them. And I found some organization that helped me with the funds for bail bonds. And all the people is so happy. And we're working hard, like Dianna say, because in the post-release, these people, they need clothes, they need food, they need transportation, they need transitory houses. And we're working all together like a good team that we are, and always we say, help please. There is a link, right? The people that can help there. Oh yeah, they can help us and donate something and make this better because there is more people there. Yeah. There is more people they need help, and I will continue doing it, okay? Because for me, especially for me, it's a great honor to help people because I was there too. I was there a long time, and I don't want people suffering. I don't want family crying for their lovers one, and I want the best for all the community too. Yeah, that's what I do.
Miriam's a rock star, literally. She'll send me pictures every other week. Oh, someone else got released. It's amazing the stuff she does. She will reduce thousands of dollars of bonds into $0, and I have no idea how she does it, but she's doing it every single day. How many people do you think you helped release this year?
Well, I think it's more than 20 people already, and also I had a few ones that's gonna go home soon too. I've been working hard, and you know what was a surprise for me? It was one of the persons asking for a 15,000 bond, and I asked him, "Do you pass the what is they calling when they pass the asylum?" I forgot that because I do a lot of things. Oh, do you pass the credible fear? And then say yes. Okay, you don't have to be there. Okay, just write it down. I give instruction how to write a card to the officer, and telling I can say, but telling this, and you're gonna be released. And he said, really? Yeah, just try. And then he did it. And then he did it in the morning, like at 10 in the morning. He said he give it he handled it personally, the card to the officer. And by 3 o'clock, the officer come back and say, you're going to go home today. And then, I love him because one of the organizations, I think one of the ladies called me and said, Miriam, what do you did? And I said, I I just did what I need to do to say, because this person is already he's a positive. He passed the fear, and then he need to go home. It's just reading books, and also helping me a lot. The training that I had in Pennsylvania, about the immigration law. Oh, that is very good. There is many things that I learned. Now I apply to my people, and people has to be free, because nobody deserves to live there. Nobody. All of us, we're a human being. We have to have equal opportunity, todos. Oh, todos. In Spanish, all of us, right?
Yeah.
I love my job, because I know I'm doing something good for the families, for the community. And I have another anecdote. That was Francisco Sorio. When the officer asking for 20,000 bond. But in the end, I found a pro bono lawyer, and she helped me to reduce to 3,000.
Wow.
Wow, that was a great victory, from 15 to 3,000.
Yeah.
And when he was released, I give it right to him. I pick it up from jail. I bring it to the family. And when I saw his kid hugging him, one of his kids said, "Father, I haven't seen you for more than 3 years." That's break my heart. And I say, wow. But now you have your father, say. And the kids told me, thanks to you. And I say, well, thanks to God. Because, well, I know they're going to say that I'm going to talking about a religion, but no, I'm believing God. I'm a Christian leader, but always I had to say thanks to God for all the acknowledgement, everything that he gave it to me to support the people, to help people.
Yeah.
I think it's important to like this is a labor of love first and foremost, right? We do this work because it's important to all of us, because a lot of us might are immigrants ourselves. Some folks have been in detention. At the end of the day, though, this is a work of love, and you see that every day with everyone here. And one of those people that we see that is with Miriam, right? It is very important. One person's out, as Dianna mentioned, when Jackie was released, there was an overwhelming feeling of joy, right? And you cry and you're excited. And it's good to celebrate that. And we had to sit with that. And then we quickly remember that there's more folks. And we know that we have to continue this fight. But remember anything for us, and it's important for me to remind you all that, you already changed the life of that one person. And they will remember that forever, right? And we have many more to go, and that's why we're here. But that person will remember that forever. So again, just this is great work that is being done. Let's sit with those victories, and let's sit with them. And thanks to all the work that you're doing. And I think as Miriam said, right, this knowledge doesn't come from one day to the next. It comes from different work that we do. And so just want to thank you all for that. And I always, even though I'm not, in the nitty gritty of the work, it's always really exciting to see when I see that a person is released, or that, a bond is paid, or that, I think I usually get messages from Miriam like, can I buy someone clothing? And I know that means, well, someone's getting released, right? I know that. And that's always exciting for me to see those messages, knowing that it's people are getting released, and Miriam is going to go pick them up and get them out of the detention center. So yeah, I mean, just amazing work that you all have been doing.
And you know what? When they got released, they come in with the clothes. Actually, one of the boys, he was very embarrassed because he got released with a short, and he told me there is a woman's short. And I said, well, don't worry, we have clothes. Yeah. And I'm looking for everywhere, all the boxes. I got clothes. And Araceli, she's so nice. She said, we're gonna buy a new clothes for these people. All new clothes, new backpack, new shoes. We provide everything new because we want the best for them. Yeah. We want they feel happy. They feel, because they are important people. They are human beings. They're in great need. If we can support and wherever we can, it's great for me. For me, when somebody called me from Geo and say, "Oh, Miriam, I'm gonna go home today. You come for me," and I said, oh, "I'm so happy." And I said, "You have clothes? and some people they don't have even shoes.
Yeah,
No shoes.
Miriam will like pick them up and then just take them to her house, take them wherever they need to go. Like she'll be driving. Miriam lives in the high desert and she'll drive down to
Yeah.
Ontario to leave them at the airport. Like
Yeah.
she is doing the most, and we actually had launched our mutual aid campaign. So now the community can help us in these efforts if they want to help, like buy items. We have a Target registry. You can literally just ship it straight to our office, send Araceli a gift card, or just donate online. So yeah, if anyone wants to help support us with that post-release work, that would be amazing. Kind of sticking with Adelanto, we also had a lawsuit filed this year, which was another big win. It was the Ronduin versus Geo Group lawsuit back in March. It was the Social Justice Legal Foundation filed a lawsuit on behalf of 7 plaintiffs for the use of a toxic chemical called HDQ neutral. We have a previous episode on this. It's the Shut Down Adelanto one if anyone wants to learn more about it. But that was a huge win. Over 1,300 people were harmed due to this toxic chemical being used in this center, being abusive to these people, harming them, leaving them with lasting conditions. So we are very glad that the Social Justice Legal Foundation took this case on. Ligaya is one of the plaintiffs on the case. Miriam is one of the plaintiffs on this case. So yeah, like a good step forward with that. We're going to move on to more of just overall ICIJ stuff. So one other big win for this year was our landscape analysis. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Javier?
Yeah, so, as we mentioned, we've been around for 15 years doing this work. I've been here for 8, going to 9 years. And one thing that was important for us, as we were building capacity and growing our coalition, was really working on something that could guide us for the next, hopefully, 5-10 years, right? And so we worked for about 1.5 years with our partners and with just stakeholders in the immigrant rights work here in the Inland Empire to come up with our 10-year landscape analysis. It was, again, a lot of work. It took us 1.5 years of like just research and talking to folks, and another 6 months to prepare the actual document. So now we have a landscape analysis that would help guide our work. And it's also a way for us to be able to speak about the work that we're doing in a way that in one... I'm going to do that one again. Sorry. So now we have a 10-year landscape analysis that will help guide our work, but also it's going to be something that we can use with all of our partners to be sure that we're able to speak about the work that we're doing in a more cohesive way. So that was 1.5 years of work, and now it's something that we're going to be implementing in the coming year. So just thanks to all of our partners that participated in that, and stakeholders throughout the region that also participated in the landscape analysis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that was kind of iconic. I didn't even know that was being worked on. So when we found out, I was like, that is amazing. Having all this stats, all this information about the region that we're doing work in. It's just another resource, even for ourselves. So yeah, that was awesome. Okay, so our hotline also relaunched this year, which is exciting. We had a small little party to like launch it with our volunteers. Do you want to share a little bit about that, Javier?
Yeah, so our hotline has been something that we have been doing, I also think, almost from the very beginning of this coalition, so even before my time. However, during the last presidential administration, it became more critical for us to have a hotline in case there was ICE raids and Border Patrol operations where people were getting detained. We actually, because 2020 hit, that hotline actually became like a COVID hotline for immigrants. And then now that we are, have a little bit more time to breathe, we've actually rebranded it, I guess you can say. So now our hotline is a resource hotline where immigrants, communities can call in and ask for resources, right? From where's the nearest food banks to where can I get medical support for my family. So we're really excited that we are able to do this. And also the best part of it is, again, the volunteers. Volunteers, our staff cannot do this work 24/7. It's impossible. There's so many things that are happening. So it's always important to have volunteers. And we have a really amazing group of committed volunteers that are taking on this work. So I'm really thankful for them. But our hotline is something that folks can call Monday through Friday from, I think it's 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And sometimes we leave it, we extend those hours depending on if there's emergencies. But again, this is a really important resource hotline for us because we know that after COVID, the calls that we were getting were very different. So we also wanted to respond to the need of our community. And that's what we're doing with this rebranding of this hotline.
Yeah. Yeah, our hotline is awesome. I think it's just a safe place to call, like if you need any information. I'm always referring people to our hotline because there's so many resources. It's not just like our own resources, it's our partners and everything
Exactly.
in the region. And yeah, even I'm surprised by like how much help and aid there is out there. So yeah, shout out to our volunteers who help run the hotline. Always need volunteers, so if anyone wants to volunteer, they still can. We do trainings every few months or so. So we'll put the link again in down below. So if anyone wants to sign up, they can definitely help us with that. So that's kind of like everything we were going to talk about for this year. We got the second half. So there's more, like I said in the first episode, but a very good, long year, a successful year for sure. We're still working though, so there's more things to be done. We have our street vending team in Coachella and in Palm Springs that are working on sidewalk vending ordinances. Helping pass equitable and safe ordinances for our community out there. We're really just pushing to protect our street vendors in the whole region. So stay up to date to continue advocating for that with us. And then we're still working on Ligaya's Freedom Campaign. Do you want to share anything about that, Miriam?
Yeah, as you know, Ligaya was transferred to Louisiana. Um, but we will support her. We will continue to support her. And also, I have a hope because I was helping two women get released from Louisiana. And I had a good communication with one of the ICE officers. And he gave me his phone number. Maybe I'm going to call him and say, please, freely, Gaia. It's time she for go home. She need to go home. She need to be with her family. And I want to try all my best, like as always I do for all my people. Yeah.
Yeah, Ligaya will have been in detention for 5 years this December. So it's more than double punishment at this point. It is just cruel and abusive. So we're really just going to continue pushing for her in the ways that we can. So stay up to date on Shutdown Adelanto on Instagram. We post all our updates on there.
Yeah, and it's important to remember, Ligaya was transferred because they know she has a big community here that's
Yeah.
helping her, and so they try to say, well, where can we send these people so they don't have support? But the good thing is that we're going to continue supporting Ligaya until we see her out and free. It's been 5 years, as you mentioned. This isn't cruel. At this point, it is cruel punishment. She should not be subject to being separated from her family for so long and in detention centers that are just dehumanizing and treat people in the worst way possible. So even though Ligaya is, I think a couple thousand miles away at this point, we're still going to be fighting for her. And for everyone, there's ways that you can get involved. Always follow us online at www.ic4ij.org. Or you can also just follow all of our social medias at IC, the number 4IJ, at IC4IJ for all of our social media. And that way you'll be able to be up to date with all the work that we're doing.
Yeah, and you know what? That's true. That in Louisiana, they don't have no legal support. I mean, looking for every organization there, and like two, three ladies told me, "Oh, we don't do legal support. Just we provide transportation."
Wow. Yeah.
They're alone over there, but we will fight from here, from California, for Ligaya.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Well, thank you both for being here. Thank you everyone for watching this whole year, our first year of our podcast, and we'll see y'all next year.
And Happy New Year!
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.